Hello, everyone. I'm Jamie Reed, the Education Specialist with the Oracle Applications and Technology Users Group. I'm thrilled to welcome you all to today's session, Top 10 Sessions and Technologies to Catch at Ascend 2024, hosted by AuraPlayer. Before we delve into the session, let me provide a brief introduction to OA2G, especially for those who may be new to our programming. OA2G is a community of Oracle users and consultants dedicated to offering education, networking, and support to our members. OA2G is always looking for great volunteers. If you're already a member and looking to get involved, feel free to contact us. I'd also like to highlight Ascend 2024, our annual users conference set to take place at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas from June 17th to the 20th. Registration is now open and we hope to see you there. A quick reminder for today's webinar, participants will be on mute throughout the session. However, you are encouraged to send your questions at any time through the questions box. The session is being recorded and both the recording and the slide deck will be available to OA2G members in the knowledge base within 48 hours. You'll find links for our upcoming events, knowledge base, and more information about joining OA2G in the chat area shortly. Now, without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to our speaker, Mia Urman, the CEO with AuraPlayer. Thank you so much for presenting. You can take it away.
So hi, everybody. happy Tuesday. My name is Mia Urman. I'm the CEO of AuraPlayer, but today we're actually presenting using my Oracle ACE Director hat and my OA2G member fanatic hat, because instead of doing kind of a vendor presentation about us, I thought it would be really kind of more fun to talk about Ascend and what I'm looking forward to, what technologies I'm looking forward to, what sessions I'm looking forward to hearing about, events, and kind of how to plan your trip to Vegas, because it tends to be like completely overwhelming. I found the years that I didn't prep before, I kind of got there and there was like such information overload that I kind of like, you blinked, you missed it. You feel like, so that's kind of what my intention was today, to kind of go over what are the highlights technologies that Oracle's kind of trying to stress, and what is my top picks and how to kind of plan your agenda for the conference, and what my top picks are for sessions that I won't be missing. So again, my name is Mia Urman. I'm the CEO of AuraPlayer. And our company was founded by me. I was an Oracle alumni. I worked for Oracle for 7 years. And we're basically a bunch of Oracle lovers who provide modernization, RPA automation solutions, and mobility solutions, like specifically for Oracle. So we're really Oracle focused on how we can bring EBS, Oracle Forms, those back office applications into the next generation without needing to do a massive rewrite. So that's kind of the concept. So AuraPlayer has 3 main components. One is automatic API generation, which includes all of the customizations, personalizations. We do RPA automation. We plug into all UiPath Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism, Microsoft, but we specialize in Oracle EBS automation. And we do mobility and digital assistance, which basically is improving the user interface and user experience of Oracle e-business suites, all by modernizing the existing technology. But like we said, today we're going to really be focusing on how we can make the most of our time at Ascend. So basically, I think that when people decide to go to Ascend, actually, before I start, I really want you guys to know that this session, like I said, I'm doing this session for you. So feel free at any point to chime in with questions, with comments, with sessions that you guys are looking at if I don't mention it, etc. So I want it to be completely interactive. So feel free to jump in if you have anything to say. So basically, how I make my time and I plan my agenda at Ascend, I kind of look at what content is available in relation to what technologies are relevant to me. So like first I say, okay, what's like my business organization's business needs? What are we doing in 2025, right? So Ascend comes like end of June. We plan our budgets in October. So, what am I thinking of planning for next year for my organizational business goals, digital goals? And then what can I take away from the Ascend conference this year to kind of help me plan out both in terms of concepts and budgeting for next year. The next, I really look at what is going to assist in my own personal growth, right? So it could be that my organization only wants to look at, old EBS features. And you might say, well, wait a minute, I really want to start looking into digital assistants, right? So you definitely want to put things on there which enhance your personal growth, develop your own knowledge, etc. And then I always look also at industry trends, right? Because it could be that I'm really interested in something, but that the whole IT industry is moving towards, artificial intelligence. And generative AI. So I should have some idea of, what people are talking about when they talk about those concepts, to be able to speak intelligently in my own organization, and my own IT organization, and of course, how I could help corporate IT further their goals from what I learned at Ascend. Because there's a lot of organizations I know that actually even do presentations when they get back on site of what they learned at Ascend, and how to move it, like how to incorporate those lessons in their IT. So basically, I know what people keep on saying, COVID, but it basically flipped all enterprise IT on its head, right? With automation, with remote workers, with the whole, incorporation of artificial intelligence, how computers help us make better decisions, faster decisions, save time, make us more efficient, do more with less, right? The same thing with sustainability, right? People want to try to start conserving resources, server consolidation, right? Tons of people, when they move to the cloud, look around and they say, well, wait a minute, how can we have 15 servers when 10 of them are not being used, right? So people are kind of paring down the license models and moving to cloud, doing consolidations to conserve those resources. Security is a big issue, especially when you're moving your applications to the cloud. There's tons of elements around securing your data in the cloud, trusting the vendors, as well as how do we secure that data from breaches, from hijacking, takeovers, whatever else it is. And I think more and more we're going to run into this issue of that there's not enough developers and IT workers in the future to handle this rise in business needs, right? We don't have today enough AI developers, enough digital workers, etc., to be able to build out all of the applications that we're going to need. So this whole prevalence of low code, no code development tools are going to start coming up, and the notion of being able to use natural language to operate IT, right? We're not going to have time to train end users to do data entry, but we might be able to do a really nice way of having it that people could enter data and chat, or build things using a menu-driven bot, for instance, right? So business users are going to start taking a more and more active role in IT. So in terms of EBS technology, the three main areas that Oracle has been focusing on for traditional EBS, so I'm talking EBS 12 onwards, the number one, of course, is this whole new concept of the enterprise. Well, it's not new anymore, but we've done a webinar on it with Nadia. You could check it out also on the OITUG if you're a member. It's the user interface modernization using enterprise control centers. So if you hear ECC at the conference, if you don't know it, you definitely want to check out sessions about it. It's basically creating dashboards based on different modules in EBS, and they're managerial dashboards to give upper level management, like bird's eye view of the organization, and based on the user roles and what they need from the application. The second is a kind of infrastructure change that they've done, where they've separated out the database layer and the application server layer from the application layer. So you're able to actually do things like upgrade only, patch only the WebLogic server or the database, or have one module like your EBS financials be in a higher patch level than your EBS supply chain, etc. So they've kind of removed those dependencies to allow people to use enhanced features in the different versions without being everything being dependent on each other. And then they've made tons of operational changes to allow people to easily lift and shift to the cloud, which is move your EBS 12x application onto Oracle Cloud Infrastructure and be able to enjoy things like performance and security and all of the features that the cloud server offers, even though you're running traditional eBusiness Suite. So these are kind of the three concepts that EBS is going to be focusing on, and we're going to be looking at when we select sessions for our eBusiness Suite. So in terms of the technology landscape, so I know Oracle all the time is like adding products, moving products. It's actually pretty funny because in my time for Oracle, I've lived through, right, J developer, ADF, BC4J, HTML developer, etc., etc., etc. But I think now we're kind of on a good spot of, these are the tools that Oracle provides to move in to this next generation. Oracle Apex is now, really leading the pack with regard to development tools. That's the PLSQL development tool. It's kind of the next incarnation of Forms, right? So a lot of people are migrating their Forms application to Apex, or building their next generation application in Apex and integrating it with Forms. And it's a very easy way to take tables in the database and present them in an HTML way, but using coding language, which is PLSQL, which makes it really easy for Oracle-based personnel to be using a low-code tool to move it forward. Oracle Visual Builder is actually a JavaScript development tool. That's the tool that's being used to develop, major portions of Oracle Fusion in the cloud. And it's going to be kind of the tool that is used to be able to do a lot of the customizations, because you could actually pull in the Oracle Fusion SaaS, services, REST services, SOA services, etc., to build screens on top. And they provide a lot of out-of-the-box, connectors to be able to connect to things like Oracle Financial Cloud and Oracle Sales Cloud, etc., to do customizations on top. The Oracle Enterprise Command Center is what we talked about. It's a way to take existing, templates of these managerial dashboards and do changes and personalizations based on rules. So that's a little more in the analytics, business analytics type of tool, as opposed to Oracle VBCS and Apex, which are kind of development tools for data entry. Oracle Automation and RPA is really a growing industry. So right now, Oracle is working on, doing their own robotic process automation, workforce automation, and things of that nature. And that's something that's going to be becoming much, much bigger and more prevalent as we go on the Oracle ecosphere. And that's going to be incorporated in what we call Oracle Integration Cloud. So Integration Cloud allows you basically to connect your Oracle application to external applications, third-party applications, such as you know, storing documents into Dropbox, you know, running something to a PDF, reading OCR, character recognition, and the automation is also going to be part of that. AuraPlayer, our organization, has like a plugin, for example, to be able to connect to Oracle e-business suites, utilizing the Oracle Integration Cloud to build hybrid systems between the Oracle Cloud Fusion applications to be able to get data, insert data, synchronize itself with the on-premise or on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure applications. I see here there's a question. Are you able to speak to the future potential viability of Oracle process automation within OIC to drive process applications? So yeah, so that's definitely something that Oracle is going to be discussing a lot. So it's not going to necessarily be part of, like, in Oracle Integration Cloud. It looks like there's kind of two streams opening up. One is going to be Oracle Process Automation, and the other is really going to be robotic process automation, like Oracle RPA. And they're now working on a beta for the SaaS applications, for the Fusion applications of RPA. We've been working with them at AuraPlayer to connect our plugin for them to be doing robotic process automation on the Oracle Forms based automation as well. But that's definitely an area where Oracle is increasing, a lot of prevalence, mainly because of the healthcare industry, that they want to be able to have digital assistants, trigger automations on back office processes, to have kind of like, hands-free doctors, and be able to digitize, medical records and things of that nature. So a lot of focus and development resources are going into, the integration piece, the process automation piece, and the digital assistant piece, which is connected to something also called generative AI. Like, Oracle is not only creating a development technology called Oracle Digital Assistant to allow us to create chatbots, to interact with the database, to interact with our back office systems, but they're also incorporating in a lot of the cloud systems what we call generative AI. So, like, for instance, in Oracle Sales Cloud, you're going to be able to, almost like we do with ChatGPT, right? Create me a draft of an email that's going to ask a customer, A, B, C, and D. So or in some of the tools, they're going to be using something called, code. I just read about that today. They're going to be using code assist, right? Like, help me write a PLSQL statement that does A, B, C, and D. So more and more, they're going to be incorporating this generative AI, right? So this generative AI is able to generate new code, new responses, etc., from the SaaS-based application. So that's a really exciting area to look in as well. Hopefully, it looks like Oracle is going to be talking about it as well. So we talked a little bit about the technologies, right? The Oracle Visual Builder is, as we said, it builds and hosts web and mobile applications, but using JavaScript. So the key here is that you actually need developers to know JavaScript and to know web-based applications and web development. It is cloud-based. It's not an on-premise solution, but there is kind of a drag and drop look and feel for it. For doing SaaS or Oracle Fusion customizations, it is much easier, right? It kind of plugs in already to what we call Swagger or REST services that come out of the box. So you could literally go in the menu, you could select, journal entry, REST service, and then it'll automatically create, a form for you or a little report for you. The digital assistant is something that is getting, much bigger, and it's getting much smarter, right? They're going to be able to use it already to be able to ask questions. Not only is it able to create a conversational, either text-based or voice-based discussions to bring you data from your back office applications, but even the development process is done in a conversational way. Like you could literally build the code for a digital assistant using, a wizard-based application where you do a simulation of a conversation, you click generate code, and it'll generate the code for you. So it's both utilizing it as a digital assistant, but also helping you do the code review. So here's an example that we did of a sales bot, right? People are in the field and they want to understand what inventory they have available, what they have on hand, quantities, in which warehouses, and be able to do replenishment. So literally they could talk to the bot. They could say, hello there, what is the price for, and then scan in or type in, a barcode, and they get the price, which warehouse has the part available, what's the reserved quantity, etc. And it literally, both of these systems are essentially looking at the data and the inventory, but one is doing it from a digital assistant and the other is doing it from a desktop application. Like we said, robotic process automation is this kind of emerging technology. You'll hear hyper automation, robotic process automation. It's basically a way to convert boring, tedious tasks into automated processes that will allow you to kind of streamline the workloads, increase the data accuracy, reduce labor costs, etc. So, for instance, we've been doing a lot of purchase order to invoicing in an automated fashion. People could send a purchase order by email. It'll be read by the bot. It'll be inserted as an invoice in the system. We've been doing a lot of things with reconciliations. All right, reconciling invoice PO versus the order. A lot of people are doing closing and opening journal periods or journal lines, right? Because if you have several journals, every time you open and close a period, it can be pretty tedious. So those are some of the exciting use cases, but I'm happy to discuss more if people want to at the event. Like we said, OIC is latest release is basically integration.
Yeah, we seem to have lost audio. I'm not sure if you can hear me or
Started
not.
looking at together. Sorry?
Oh, Mia, we lost audio for a minute, but you're back.
I'm back? Okay.
Yeah.
So at the conference, what we've kind of tried to do now is catalog this. So we finished the technologies. If there's no more questions on that, I'll move forward. And now we're really looking at the identifying, trying to catalog what we have in at the conference itself, right? So when we talk about e-business suite, hold on here. Okay, sorry, it's out of order. So basically, when we looked, Ascend is the premier like ERP conference, right? So there's so many tracks to choose from. There's EBS, HCM is the HR cloud-based application. There's cloud ERPs and all of the different cloud technologies. There's database, professional development, etc. So what we chose to focus on today is things that I'm kind of a specialist in, which is e-business suite, the technology, OCI, and the database. And then the way it seems to work is that there's two ways of there's a vertical and a horizontal, right? One is what are the modules or industries, right? We have financial, supply chain, um, tasks and projects, etc. And then you have the product or concept, right? What's the concept? The concept could be upgrading, modernizing, ECC, digital assistant, etc. So it's kind of like functional versus features. So what we try to do is between those two things, try to build your ideal session, right? Are you trying to upgrade financials or are you trying to modernize HR, right? So we kind of make ourselves a little bit of a table to kind of figure that out. So the industry is represented. I mean, look at this. We almost needed 2 slides just to write out some of the things on the agenda. But like we said, the modules are financials, logistics, procurement, projects, order management, etc. So all of these are the modules and industries, and we put them all here so you guys can like literally circle what is of interest. And then to kind of look at this in relation to identifying the business needs, right? So the business needs that we kind of are looking towards is, like we said, upgrades. Are people looking to do, are people on, EBS 11 or are they on 12.1 and they need to go to 12.2? So maybe they want to go to sessions on upgrades or migration. Are people using mobility? Are still people walking around with clipboards or still using MSC of Oracle, which is like, very, very old version? And are they perhaps looking to do something more modern, right? To access their back end using mobility remotely? Are people starting the automation process, right? Do they want to be able to trigger processes from their e-business suite in an automated fashion? Do they want to be able to do automated testing of EBS, right? Because of all the patches and the uploads and the migrations and the upgrades, etc., people complain that their test cycles are, um, taking forever, and that it might be really helpful to be able to shorten the cycle by testing. Or maybe people are really challenged with hybrid environments and synchronization, right? A lot of the EBS customers I know now have both eBusiness Suite 12.2 as well as one or more SaaS or HTML-based applications. So, for instance, they have Oracle HCM for their HR, but the rest of the EBS is on-premise with 12.2. Okay, or they're using Sales Cloud with SaaS applications, but the rest of their application is on premise. So, how do we do that? How do we resolve those issues when, if somebody has left the organization in the Oracle Cloud application, HCM, how are we taking them out of accounts payable so that they don't keep getting a salary statements, right? So those are really a lot of open questions for this kind of integration / hybrid cloud topic. And then, are you looking to incorporate next generation, concepts such as machine learning or artificial intelligence? So it could be that we're not there yet, right? Most of the time, big joke is at the sessions. I always say, can everybody do a show of hands? How many of you are, you know, doing mobile applications on EBS? Like, almost nobody raises their hands. So I say, how many of you are starting to think about it? So, a few more raise their hands. And then I say, shame on you. So everyone was laughing because I was like, shame on you. This is the time, right? This is the time to start modernizing and mobilizing your applications. Um, so it seems like if people aren't even at mobility yet, how are they going to make that stretch all the way to artificial intelligence? But it is good to get a sense of, where the market is going. What is Oracle doing in that area of generative AI? And to see what's coming, right? Like, sometimes we feel that Oracle is something so outdated and so passé, and you know, it's nice to see that they're trying to so like we said, the basic solution topics, once you select your module, the solution topics for the modules are about upgrades, moving to OCI, modernizing with Apex or Visual Builder, automation, digitization, and of course ECC. So these are the like topics that we looked at and narrowed down, that most of EBS sessions kind of fall under. So learning from the Oracle team, Oracle actually they're taking this year's conference by storm. They even did their own webinar on presenting what Oracle is going to be presenting at Ascend, kind of like what I'm doing in the general sense. They did it just for what Oracle is presenting. So I highly suggest people check that out. Nadia is incredible, and she really, her and Cliff Godwin have really taken the EBS world and taken OATUG and built it up that, you know, it's a real conference where we can get answers and understand concepts and not some, marketing blah blah kind of thing. So the first thing they've been doing is having sessions on each module called strategies and updates, which is really cool because what they do is, like we said, they've taken vertical and horizontal. So they have a strategy and update per module. So supply chain strategy and update, HR strategy and update, financial strategy and update, and concepts. So it could be a mobility strategy and upgrades strategy and update. So you guys could really figure out, right? So I want to go to the mobile strategy and update, and I want to see what they're doing in supply chain, because those are things that are of interest to me. I would definitely not miss Cliff Godwin's session. He is currently the father of e-business suite, and it's incredible to be able to hear from him what his vision is going to be moving forward, as well as Nadia Bendaju, who's the vice president of R&D of moving and improving to OCI. So it is very interesting, because Oracle seems to have like two main streams, right? One is, okay, move off of EBS and go to the SaaS applications. And the second is lift and shift to the cloud. So move your current EBS traditional system onto Oracle Cloud Infrastructure and continue there, right? Lifetime support. They call it applications unlimited, meaning it's going to be able to live there forever. So I like to hear, Nadia's take on that and what their vision is for utilizing Oracle Cloud Infrastructure to better, EBS experience, performance, etc. Next, they have kind of meeting the experts sessions where you could hear from the people who are like the owners of the different modules or of EBS technology, best practices, etc. And this year, there's really a highlight. Cliff Godwin is doing what they used to call the Customer Advisory Board, where they used to meet with, EBS customers to kind of hear from them, ideas, concepts, requests, things that are missing, things that they'd like to have. So there's going to be a Q&A with Cliff Godwin and the rest of the EBS leadership team. So that should be pretty interesting. I'm excited to hear successful EBS Suite customer journeys, because it's basically going to just focus on hearing real customers and how they moved their applications to the cloud. And like I said, Nadia is a great speaker, very entertaining, and not to be missed. Then I'm really interested in learning from Joe Hung. He's part of the Oracle. He's the product manager for Oracle Assistant, and he's going to talk about AI-powered digital assistants to enrich eBusiness Suite. So this is this is the main session about digital assistants. So I would put that as a not to be missed. And I would catch Blaine Carter for Introduction to Visual Builder, because I feel like a lot of people know about Apex. It's been around a long time. People kind of know what it's about, but I think the Visual Builder has really changed pretty dramatically over the past, few years or 2 years or so. So it's really, it's like they used to say about cornflakes, right? Taste them again for the first time. So check it out check it out once again. And then this year they also have interesting things with workshops and hands-on labs. So they're going to be doing one on ECC, the Enterprise Command Center, which we talked about, with personalization, with live demos. So I would definitely try to catch the workshop or the hands-on lab, also being managed by Nadia. Next, not only is Oracle very prevalent at the SAM conference, but also Oracle ACEs and ACE directors. Oracle ACE director are people that are basically have been flagged as gurus in their own, topic. So Charles Kim, for example, is a top guru in the database world. Deborah Lilly is in the EBS world. And basically, it's always fun to catch sessions by people who are not directly connected to Oracle, but deal with customers all the time and concepts connected to Oracle. So these are actually people who, blog or in social media and help customers implement the solution. So they have a different take on it. Deborah Lilly's going to do a session putting an end to cloud confusion for application unlimited customers. I think this is awesome because so many times I have with my staff, when we say EBS on the cloud, they don't know if we're talking about Fusion apps with SaaS applications or Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or why should we move to the cloud, or should we be moving to the cloud, or should we be moving to cloud infrastructure but not SaaS, etc. So she really is going to sit and map out with customers, what it means cloud, and when and why and how you should move to the cloud or be ready to move to the cloud. So she's an excellent speaker and very knowledgeable, so I would definitely check that out. I think Charles Kim is very entertaining, but I also think it's very interesting to learn about artificial intelligence and machine learning features in the database. It's not only to kind of look at digital assistant and what it's going to do on eBusiness Suite on the front end or the client side, but it's also interesting to know what they're planning for the database, right? Are they planning things with in the newest version? So I kind of put two sessions there, but it's kind of the same concept, which is not only what are the new features that people should know, but also how do you prepare for it? How do you prepare for bringing that database in, right? So I think that that's really interesting if you're kind of DBA inclined. Tools to improve your EBS administration and management and planning your upgrade roadmap. I think that's very interesting as well because it's really, people could move to the newest versions, people could upgrade, etc. But then, who's left holding the bag when they have to do things like monitoring and understanding, how to utilize it. So I think that's an important session as well. I see here we have another question. We have here, are there any firm or estimated timelines when 23 AI will be certified with EBS on-prem? I don't know, but that would probably be a great question to ask Oracle when you're there and you have everybody, all Oracle at your disposal. And then it wouldn't be a good idea to do a session on ACES sessions without plugging my own, right? It's interesting. This year I didn't do, theoretical sessions on concepts. I really felt like there were a lot of theoretical sessions out there. So I really wanted to do real life case studies with customers that I had met at Ascend. So that's kind of the beauty of it. One I'm doing with OFS, with Dean Miller. We met him at Ascend about 4 years ago, and we were talking about, I did a session on mobilizing your e-business suite, and from those discussions, I think last year he, decided to take on the project, and it's just incredible how they really digitize their warehouse. So he's going to talk about his best practices and lessons learned. And the same thing happened with NFI. I met Ashley, I think maybe 3 years ago in Florida. Florida last year, we spoke to them. So last year, they literally hadn't even purchased, I think, AuraPlayer RPA plugin for eBusiness Suite. And now they're you know they're saving tons of time. They have a lot of statistics on the different bots they're using and use cases about their bots and when they're using it, etc. So I really like it that it's going to be customers live talking about their own best practices, their own lessons learned, the pros and cons, and what they would and would not have what they would and would not do in the future in projects. Next, we have learning from peers and end users. I think it's very important to make sure on your agenda you're actually going to other end users, because a lot of times the agenda gets overrun with Oracle and ACES and people who are not really living and breathing the technology, but they kind of, Oracle sells it to you, um, and then we come in as consultants and we kind of assist here and there. But, we definitely think you should go to sessions by end users. So the two that we spoke about, right? Dean Miller with OFS and Florida with NFI. But there's also one, Deepak from JTech. He's a good friend as well, but he did this year, a whole revamped maximum availability architecture for his application and databases, and load testing, etc. So he would definitely be very interesting to hear from. ECC and Apex, which for us goes under the concept of user experience modernization, like we talked about. So check out Mark, I can't pronounce his last name, Urman Trout from Midmark. He's going to talk about operational data focus using ECC and Apex. So I think that's actually an interesting mix. And then Sylvain Martel from Insum. He's a really talented guy. Insum, I really value their work. They're a great partner of ours, and they are doing incredible things with eBusiness Suite and Apex. So it'll be really interesting to learn about reporting with Apex and Analytics Cloud, because Oracle reports, of course, leave something to be desired. Next, we chose one for integration by Manjula. She's actually the head of the mobile, or the digital enterprise digital system, SIG, for OATUG. So it's going to be, case studies with her integration projects. And then there's 2 sessions about AI, which I think might be really interesting. One is an AI panel about artificial intelligence in Oracle by James Liu from Metropolitan Water District. So I'm very interested interested to hear who's going to be on his panel, what's it going to be about. I don't really know what it's about, but it's on my list of what to catch, as well as Mohan Dutt. He's actually a big OATUG rock star, and he's going to be talking about generative AI from 0 to 60. And I kind of like that his session is about, practical applications at work. Because like we said, a lot of times people talk about, artificial intelligence, and it kind of feels like it's all in the air and not something that is really concrete. So to do it where it has a practical application is definitely something I'm interested in hearing about. So I'm going to catch mine. So just to kind of summarize, I'm going to leave it open for questions at the end, but to summarize, like we said, you should basically make a little bit of a content chart. So I took the liberty here, somewhere here, of pulling up the agenda. So you go here. Actually, can I put it in the chat for everybody? Because here it has the agenda at a glance, and here's the sessions. So I will put, oops. Okay, so basically, here's a really great way of being able to search by track, by speaker, by keyword, etc. So if you're going to be, like we said, okay, I want to see what's around about AI, you get here at the bottom all the different sessions that are going to be available about EBS, etc. Okay, and then if you click on it, you'll get a little pop-up of more information and who the speaker is. So what I did is basically I made what we call a content chart. Like I said, I took the different modules. I took the different modules of EBS. I took the different tracks, and I kind of scheduled myself out to try to do a few sessions on each topic. And then I added them to my calendar. But make sure you also include some networking and social events. So everybody who's on the session, please feel free to send us information. You're invited to our dinner. We have on Sunday night, we're doing a community dinner at Hell's Kitchen, actually, so it should be fun. So feel free to email us if you'd like to receive a formal invite, and reach out and be sure to network via the app. So, people also learn the most by talking to other people at the event, visiting the partner pavilion, and socializing. So definitely come visit us in the partner pavilion. Sonia, do you remember our booth number? Was it 511? I don't remember our booth number, but maybe she'll write it in the chat. But you can come see us, and feel free to reach out to me by email, like we said, if you'd like to join us for our on-site events, or if you'd like to catch up with us before or after the conference. So I hope this was a good review for everybody. And like I said, I'm happy to hear if you feel that I missed something, or you would have added a session, and looking forward to meeting everyone there.
Thank you so much, Mia. This was great. We love having our partners share Ascend like this, and bring attention to some of the panels that we have, events that are going to be happening. We're really excited about Ascend. It's going to be a great time. And we are so excited to see you there. And again, thank you. Thank you to our attendees for being here today. And I also want to, I know Sonia's in the background. I want to say thank you to Sonia because I know she does a lot of great work too.
She does.
So I hope that we see everybody there. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
Great. There was a question and I lost, but I can't.
Yeah, I know James said thank you for the shout out.
Oh, thank you for the call.
So I think that was the only other comment.
Well, like I said, I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you. And I hope everyone enjoys the rest of your day.
Sounds great.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.